Now today I will discuss about the law of mass action and actual rate of reaction. Law of mass action gives us rate of reaction, that is the rate equation. But there is a mismatch between the experimentally obtained rate equation. So I will discuss today about the rate equation that is experimentally observed and the rate equation that is suggested by law of mass action. Now before watching this video, please complete part 1, part 2 and part 3. That will help you to understand the subject easily. Now let us consider a reaction like this one. It's a general reaction. I will use specific example later. So as per this reaction, A moles of A and B moles of B react together to give you product. Now what law of mass action suggests? Law of mass action tells that the rate of the reaction is proportional to concentration of A to the power the stoichiometric coefficient when concentration of B is constant, and the rate is proportional to concentration of B to the power stoichiometric coefficient of B when concentration of A is constant. So the rate depends on A to the power A third bracket to the power A, third bracket is the symbol for concentration, when B is kept constant, and when A is kept constant the rate is proportional to third bracket B, that is concentration of B to the power B. Now when both vary, when concentration of A and concentration of B both vary, we have the rate to be proportional to A to the power A and B to the power B. Now when we replace the proportionality by equal to, we will have a proportionality constant here. Now this proportionality constant is termed as the rate constant. So here is this is the rate equation for the given reaction as per the suggestion of law of mass action. Now let us start with a real example. Now for example 1, we consider the decomposition of dinitrogen pentoxide. The balanced reaction is given by 2N2O5 arrow 4NO2 plus O2. Now as per the suggestion of law of mass action, what will be the rate of reaction? So as per, let us consider it to be Ma, mass action. So as per law of Ma, law of mass action, the rate equation will be rate equals to rate constant into concentration of the reactant N2O5 to the power 2. So this is the rate equation as per the suggestion of law of mass action. What do you mean by rate equation? Rate equation consists of rate and which is equal to rate constant multiplied by the concentration of the reactants raised to proper powers, which is called the order of the reaction. So as per the suggestion of law of mass action, this reaction is a second order reaction. But when we perform experiment and get the rate equation, which I am referring as the actual rate of reaction or the actual rate equation, that is rate equation observed experimentally. Now how will you get the experimentally observed rate equation? To get the experimentally observed rate equation, you first write rate equal to rate constant multiplied by the concentration of the reactant and write here alpha. That is, you don't know the order of the reaction. Now in part 1 or part 2, please check it. I have shown you how to determine the order of the reaction. So using that technique, you first find the order of the reaction and put here. And from the experimental results, you can also have the value of the rate constant. So you have rate equals to rate constant into N2O5 third bracket to the power the order obtained experimentally. So that will give you the experimentally observed rate equation. So this K is K observed or K experiment. Now upon performing the experiment, it was obtained that the order of the reaction is 1. That is, the reaction depends on the reactant to the power 1. Concentration, it depends on the first power of the concentration of the reactant. So there is a mismatch, you see, between the law of mass action and the experimentally observed rate equation. So at this point one may ask, is this incorrect? Is the law of mass action incorrect? No, this is not incorrect, but what it does is that it basically deals with elementary reaction. That is, it deals with those reactions which completes in a single step, and it is not valid for a multi-step reaction. That's why the mismatch appears. So it is clear that this reaction is definitely multi-step. Now if this reaction has occurred in a single step, that is, the reactant molecules N2O5 crosses the barrier and get the product without any intermediate being formed, then obviously the reaction rate, that is the rate of rate equation, should have been K into N2O5 third bracket to the power 2. But it is a multi-step reaction and this is not the reality. So if the reaction is elementary, then only you can apply law of mass action, otherwise you cannot. And whether the reaction is elementary or not, that is whether the reaction completes in a single step or in multi-steps, you have to know by experiments only. So experiment is the only tool with which you can determine the rate equation. Please be careful. Now, so for this reaction, this rate equation proves to be wrong, but this to be correct. Now how this rate equation comes? We are noticing that two molecules participating in the reaction, but here how the order becomes 1? Let us see. So to understand this, you have to know the mechanism for the reaction, which is the step 1 for the mechanism is decomposition of a single molecule, this one. So this is the slow step and the rate determining step. Slow step is defined as the rate determining step. I have made it clear in previous video. Now in the next step, this unstable NO3 moiety, this group reacts with another molecule to give you, this is the first step, to give you 3 NO2 molecules and 1 O2 molecule. So if you add, you get this reaction. See, 3 NO2 and 1 NO2, it is 4 NO2. NO3 cancels out. This gives you 2 N2O5. So this is the multi-step reaction that is occurring for this reaction in the background. Now this energy profile is not the correct profile for this reaction. Since it is a multi-step, we will have intermediate. So the profile will be like this one. So here we have only 1 N2O5 molecule, and this molecule crosses the maximum barrier. That is the activation energy for this, for the first step is very high, and for this the rate is very slow. Now here you have NO2 and you have NO3. Now at this step, another N2O5 molecule come and this reacts with NO3 to give the product. So one N2O5 molecule has to cross a very large barrier and another N2O5 molecule has to cross a small barrier. Now this small barrier is much lower than the thermal energy of the system. So it is very much easier for the thermal energy of the system to cross this barrier. So the reaction rate does not depend on this molecule. It only depends on the first N2O5 molecule that appear in the rate determining step. So we have the rate equation equals to rate constant into N2O5 1. It depends on the first molecule only, which have to cross a large barrier, but it is independent on the contribution of the second molecule, which crosses a very minimum barrier, and that is insignificant and has negligible contribution in the reaction rate. So we have in this way the reaction to be first order. So you have to first perform experiment, and then you suggest a mechanism that gives you the rate equation obtained experimentally, and then you have to capture the intermediate to show that your mechanism is correct. This is the exact procedure. Now I will take another example that will make the picture very clear. Example 2 is very important. Please watch it carefully. This is acid catalyzed iodination of acetone. So it is like this. So the reaction looks like this. So when acetone is treated with aqueous iodine in presence of little amount of inorganic acid, we see the yellow color of the iodine fades away and this iodoacetone is obtained. Now if we apply the law of mass action here, what this law of mass action will do? It will suggest that write the rate and give equal to and then the rate constant, then write the reactants appearing in the reaction, and then watch the coefficients and put here in the power. So this is the suggestion given by law of mass action. So the reaction is first order with respect to acetone and first order with respect to iodine as per the suggestion of law of mass action. So what you see in the balanced equation will appear in the rate equation. This is the suggestion of mass action. But I have already told you that don't believe in the law of mass action. What you have to do is to perform experiment. And the experimentally observed rate equation is rate equals to, this is K observed this is matching oh my god, the experimentally observed rate equation is suggesting that the rate is independent of iodine. It is, the reaction is zero order with respect to iodine. So what is appearing in the balanced equation is actually not appearing in the experimentally observed rate equation. The rate is independent of the concentration of iodine, but it is dependent on the catalyst that is not appearing in the balanced equation. So this is a matter of great astonishment. So your experiment giving this rate equation, and this is obviously correct since this is the result of experiment. So what mechanism of the reaction can lead us to this rate equation? Please check. Remember this expression. This is first order with respect to acetone and first order with respect to acid, but it is zero order with respect to iodine. That is third bracket I2 to the power 0. So the mechanism proposed for this reaction is so in step 1 we have this is acetone CH3COCH3, this is the catalyst. So here we see in the first step enolization of the ketone occurs, that is acetone, that is the ketone gets converted to its enol form, and H plus, that is the catalyst, facilitates this conversion. So you see this H is getting released and this H plus is incorporated within the system. Now this is the reaction which is associated with a very large barrier. So it is the slow step or the rate determining step. Now in the second step, this keto form is stable and this enol form is unstable. You may write here enol in for this alkene in group and all this OH. So it is combinedly named as enol, and this is keto. Sorry, this is unstable. Not all enols are however unstable. in some cases medium, that is a solvent, can stabilize special types of enol, but here it is unstable. Now in the second step we see the iodination results. This comes here, and in this way, this is the first step. We have so here we have this sigma bond getting converted to double bond. So we have CH3 bond C double bond O, and this pi bond is opening through this carbon and it is attacking this iodine. So we have CH3 bond C double bond O bond CH to bond I, and this H and this I minus will form HI. Now if you add this, you will get the overall reaction. This one and this one cancels out. H plus is not consumed in the reaction. We are getting it back, and we are starting with acetone, we are starting with iodine, and we get this iodoacetone and HI. Now if we draw the energy profile diagram for this reaction, so this will look like this one. This is the energy axis. So here we start with acetone. Now you see this is the large barrier and this is a small barrier. Now in this large barrier, that is the slow step, only acetone and H plus are appearing. But in the small step, that is when we have the enol, this I2 is appearing. So this iodine is appearing in the first step where the barrier is very low and thermal energy is sufficient. There is sufficient amount of thermal energy and this barrier is negligible. So this rate is not finding any contribution of iodine. So we have, and finally we are getting the product. It is this one. So we have in the rate equation, this is rate equal to rate constant multiplied by. So those reactants which are appearing in the rate determining step will have their contribution in the rate equation. So you see only acetone and H plus is present in the rate determining step, and those will have only contribution towards the formation of the reaction, and with respect to them the order of the reaction will be 1, and with respect to the reactant that is appearing in the first step, that will be 0. So this is the experimentally observed rate equation. So I suggest you to perform experiment and don't believe the law of mass action. Law of mass action is true, but it is true for an elementary reaction and not for a multi-step reaction.